Hi everybody, Bo Yoder here for 3D Apex Trading and rethinkyourROI.info. Just wanted to follow up, not a whole lot to add here, but want to keep a nice continuous stream of updates for you on the Dow. In this case, the S&P, the Spiders, sorry, it's not really the S&P, it's the SPDR, the Spiders Dow Jones Industrial Average ETF. Now, we talked about the market and its big bulge in momentum, which told us that there was more coming. And we really can see that even though there's some resistance here near these previous tops, there actually is a lot more. There's been very little selling here. Really haven't even hit any of the major moving averages, and the market's just been kind of hanging out near the highs. Now, interesting thing has happened while that has occurred. There's a lot of momentum there, but that momentum has pretty much been digested, and just today we're starting to reach below the midpoint. So we've lost most of our momentum and we're starting to come back down below. Now, that still doesn't mean that we're ready for a reversal here. You really would tend to see a cycle back down and then a fail cycle before you get any major reversal. And you can see here we have this sort of hashy kind of environment that we've been trading in for a while now. I still think this is sort of the end stage of the Fed's power to abuse their liquidity and control the market. If we go to the weekly, get a little bit deeper time frame perspective, you're going to see that negative power that we spoke of before is still there. So that's going to definitely be a weight on the market. You can also see how nice and smooth the transition from bullish to bearish was on the weekly. I think we talked about that in the last video. So let's actually go the opposite direction. So we looked at the daily and the weekly. Let's drop down now to, let's do a 4-hour chart. So we're looking at charts that are, each bar is going to be 4 hours of intraday price action. And you can see there now how the momentum has really switched to the downside and has built and really didn't lose much of its bearish momentum here as the market rolled up to kind of test the highs of this little range. Let's go ahead and drill down to an hourly chart. So now we've got every bar being an hour. Again, now we're starting to harness some of the power of the 3D in 3D Apex. And now that has a little bit of a different, now we're really into the market internals, right? Now we have a little bit of a different view. So there's lots of downward pressure out there. We've lost all of our daily bullish momentum. But intraday, right, there's some big buy campaigns here. You can see this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars straight up. That's a 6-bar or a 6-hour buy campaign. Here we have a 3-hour buy campaign. Here's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 5-hour buy campaign. Here's just a really violent 1-bar or 1-hour buy campaign. And you can see once again that power is building on an intraday basis. So there's definitely been a real tug of war. Isn't it interesting to see how the tug of war is really exchanging bulls for bears and bears for bulls down here on the hourly level? But it's much more obvious that the downward pressure is dominant once you drop down to deeper time frames. So what does this mean? Well, if you are an intraday trader, then you get a lot of information out of this. As you come down towards these lows, you can see how this spike low here, lower in price, higher in momentum, that was a potential a reversal based on divergence. And now actually we had a spike and then a spike in momentum to the upside. You know, whenever you have a good building power move like that, we call it big bulge theory, you're very likely to have a secondary wave. So this pullback was definitely a viable pullback, and looks like there's some profits to be had there. Now look at what's happening. The market's coming back up. It's making sort of an equal top, not really a double top. Double top and equal top are different. And again, for more details, we've got tons of videos and training information on that in our trading programs. But the equal top is nonetheless still a viable trade opportunity in many cases. And it's bouncing back up towards these highs on very low momentum. So that's likely to be a short-term rally, and therefore today is Tuesday the 31st of July. I would expect that the market's probably going to come off a little bit. Let's go ahead and is the market open? Yeah, it's 9:55 a.m. So the market's actually been open a little bit. Let's go down to a 5-minute chart just for the heck of it and see what we can see there. Yep, there's confirmation, right? Big spike to the upside off the open on this Tuesday session, coming off here, very much lower momentum. So if I were trading that intraday, I'd be definitely watching for opportunities to put on short exposure and probably see a more significant move back down over the course of the session. So there you have a little bit of a follow-up for the diamonds. great little excuse to look at different time frames and really see how a lot of these proprietary tools that we have within the 3D Apex trading methodology, how they can really give you incredible insight and the ability to forecast where things are going. And actually, this also begins to show a little bit of fractality. So we've got perhaps some short exposure potential in the smaller time frames, but the deeper time frames haven't really offered their entry yet. And that's something that is definitely probably worth another video. But often, if you have contrary indications, there may be opportunity to take a short-term trade in the opposite direction while you wait for the bigger time frame trade, the more sustained trade, the more sustained trend of its timing and entry signal. So we call that fractality. So there you have it. As always, if you have questions, I'd love to interact with you. Please visit our Facebook page. I'll put the link in the description below this video. And just go to the place where we announce that this video has been put online here on YouTube and throw in a comment. I'd be happy to talk back and forth with you or answer any questions that you may have. As always, thanks for listening. My name's Bo Yoder. Good luck and good trading.